This is Design Activity 5 presented by Ron, Rob, Katrina, Pam, Josh, and Teresa. Each year, the EDUCASE compiles a list of trends, challenges, developments that are taking place in education. While many of these trends include integration of technology, access to this technology has been cited as a problem itself. This group project will discuss some of the trends, some of the challenges, some of the developments that are mentioned in the most recent Horizon report. Two of the trends are going to include open educational resources and multidisciplinary degrees. Two of the challenges that we'll talk about are organizational structure of institutions and digital equity. And the developments that we will address will be adaptive learning technologies and the rise of artificial intelligence.
In the category of 3 to 5 year trends, we have open educational resources, or OERs. And OERs have the overarching philosophy that everyone has the right to an education, so they seek to reduce the barriers to that education. One of the biggest barriers is, of course, cost. So the definition of an OER is a free, high-quality resource used for learning or for research. And one of the challenges to something being free is that it's harder to motivate an instructor to create that curriculum and update and maintain it. The second of our 3 to 5 year trends is digital badging and nano degrees. So these are smaller bite-sized chunks of curricula that are much shorter usually than a traditional degree program, often 12 months or less. So students are able to select a few of these and maybe mix and match them into their own interdisciplinary study. And that creates a very well-rounded student. The challenge, of course, is you still need to create an overarching understanding of all of those concepts. So we have to find a way to promote that.
The 3 to 5 year trends also include some various challenges. First of which, organizational designs, making sure that every voice is heard and that everyone is able to utilize the resource itself, and making sure that the resources work with the current times, one of which is interdisciplinary skill sets, which is something that is happening more often, but is still in the minority in terms of development with various course subjects and so on. Secondly, another challenge works with making sure that everyone has access to the resources themselves. So there are various challenges with regards to socioeconomic status, as well as gender and access to these various resources. So it's something that has to be overcome to ensure that everyone has equal access and can utilize and benefit from these resources.
Some examples of these elusive challenges exist across education. One example for organizational design is the idea of a mentor versus an instructional coach. What is the better role? Which is the better definition? Which is the more effective principle? Within digital equity, a major concern is access to high-speed Wi-Fi. Whether it's availability of it within a person's area or being able to afford the service, not all Wi-Fi access is equal. So in regards to adoption in the next 2 or 3 years, AI or artificial intelligence should not be the main method of interaction, as human decisions are complex and require more than just facts. Also, machines might make choices that decrease the diversity of a population. However, tedious tasks and repetitive tasks, for that matter, could be replaced by AI. When it comes to adaptive learning tests students' abilities as they progress and the materials adjust to their level. Not only does this approach help students learn the material, it helps instructors identify at-risk students in order to help them before it's too late. The overall goal is to create a personalized learning experience for each and every student.
For examples in what will be adopted in approximately 2 to 3 years were adaptive learning technologies and artificial intelligence. One example of adaptive learning technologies would be a company called Dreambox, which is working to create an assessment that is adaptive as a student takes it and will help teachers to identify how to close math gaps in a student's learning and make recommendations for further instruction. As far as artificial intelligence, there's lots of things going on out there, and it's a very interesting field for many people. But one option is streamlining and automating a lot of efforts and work that can be done by robots so that humans can focus on the larger ideas and problems that only a human could be able to solve because it requires a lot of complex thought.
There are some questions that remain within the 3 to 5 year trend report. One of which is the technology in itself. So technology evolves at a rapid pace, and it was sort of wondered, like, will the OER development keep up with that pace? Because OERs do take time to create and develop, and it may take several years to develop a resource that can be widely used. So is it going to get to the point to where that OER is out of date by the time it is complete and ready to hit the market? And there'll be something better along the line, and students won't want to use that outdated technology. Secondly, many designers fall into the trap of designing what's trendy, what's hot, because it's something that they're interested in. They're already experts in the field. They're experts in the development of these various applications. So they want to try the next new thing. While that may be good for them to try and experiment, a lot of times these new things are not necessarily the best way to solve the problem. And by going through and trying these new things, in the end, it could actually hurt the development and hurt the resource, because it's not as effective as it could have been if known resources were in fact used.